What's up guys, CarVisionLA here. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. So behind me I've got my 2019 Alfa Romeo Giulia and I absolutely love the car. I've owned it for about 8 months now and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it to anybody. But there are a few things I don't like about it. So in this video I'm going to be talking about 5 things I hate about the Alfa Romeo Giulia. So before we get into the video, I'd like to give a quick disclaimer and address a few things. So in the past, I've made a couple of videos about cars that I've owned and cars that I've had in for review about, 5 things I don't like about the car. And they haven't been too well received by certain groups of people, the owners of those cars. But I just want to say for the record that I absolutely love this car. It is a dream to have the privilege of driving this thing every day. I'm incredibly grateful to walk out, see this thing parked in my driveway. I love this car. Like I said, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it to anybody, but I would be lying to you and not be doing my job as a car consultant if I told you this thing was all sunshine and rainbows. So here are 5 things I hate about the car. With that out of the way, let's get right into the video. First thing I don't like about the Alfa Romeo Giulia is the exhaust note. Now take a look at this car. It is a beautiful Italian luxury sports sedan. It's got those flowing lines. It's got that aggressive Alfa Romeo triangle. It's got that mean looking front end. The rear, the lights kind of wrap around the sides. I mean, this thing really does make a statement wherever it goes. Even the color just pops. But you know what doesn't make a statement wherever it goes? The exhaust note. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't afford the Quadrifoglio 2.9 liter twin turbocharged V6 beast of an engine, so I got the 2 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. This thing really does hold its own. It's a great motor. It's quick. It really doesn't even feel like a 4-cylinder at all. But it doesn't sound very good stock at all. This thing kind of sounds, how do I put it gently, pretty bad. I'll let you guys listen. Here's a quick exhaust clip. See what I mean? This thing kind of sounds like, how do I put it, a turbocharged vacuum cleaner. Fortunately, this motor is actually not a bad sounding motor, just the stock exhaust doesn't sound very good at all. So I was doing a little research, and if you put an aftermarket exhaust, and there are a lot of companies that make aftermarket exhaust, Miltech is one that comes to mind, there's a Ragazon, just do a quick Google search, you'll see a lot of these brands, but it really brings this motor to life. So that's what I plan on doing. If you really care about how your car sounds, which I assume a lot of you do if you're looking at buying an Alfa Romeo, this is definitely a worthwhile mod. It'll make your car sound a lot better, and it's actually not that expensive. So the second thing I don't like about the Giulia is its backup camera. Now this has got to be one of the worst backup cameras in the entire automotive industry. It's low resolution, doesn't even take up half the screen real estate. It only has one view. It's literally on the verge of being unusable, which is it's really sad because the Giulia starts at just under $40,000 for the base trim with no options. Now most people are going to be buying these cars with option boxes checked, which puts the price of a car on the dealership lot probably in the mid 40s to low $50,000 range. This car, for example, has a sticker price of about $45,800. Now when you factor in taxes, factor in licensing fees, dealership fees, all of that stuff, you're going to be paying close to $50,000, if not a little bit over $50,000, especially here in a place like Los Angeles. So on a $50,000 car, to have such a poor backup camera, it's not great, take this as an example. I'm going to show you right now. Here's the backup camera on a 2020 Civic EXL. That car is decently loaded. It's just one trim below the fully loaded touring model. It out the door costs about 26 grand. And the backup camera on that one is like 200% better than this Alfa Romeo Giulia. It uses up the whole screen real estate. There's multiple views. You can actually use it, actually see out the back of it. And that car costs half as much as this car. Not to mention some of this car's competitors like the Audi A4, the Mercedes C-Class, BMW 3 Series, Genesis G90, all those have great backup cameras except the Alfa Romeo Giulia. Now if that is something that bothers you, that's something to consider, but I really don't use the backup camera that much. Didn't really matter that much to me, so I kind of overlooked it. But if it does matter to you, that's something to keep in mind if you're looking to pick up one of these cars. So yeah, Alfa, if you're watching, definitely up that backup camera game, yo. So number 3 is the stock set of tires. Now this is very easily repairable. If you're willing to invest the money into a new set, which I highly recommend you do. Now, like many other luxury European cars, Alfa Romeo put run flat tires on this car, which, as you probably know, have special reinforcements that allow the car to run on a flat tire for about 50 to 60 miles at low speeds. Basically, they do this to save money, save weight, save fuel economy by not having to put a spare tire in the car. Now, that sounds great on paper, right? Well, actually, no. Run flat tires, the problem is that when you hit something, even if it's in a very repairable area on the tire, like if they were repairable on another set of tires, they're not repairable on run flat tires because of those special reinforcements. In fact, this happened to me. This car only has about 5,000 miles on it, so about 1,000 miles ago, I get a flat tire, the nail is like right in the middle of the tread, like totally in smack dab in the middle, and I had to literally pay 300 bucks just to replace the tire because you can't replace it at all. And on a normal tire, they would have literally been able to just pull it out, patch it up, and I would have been on my merry way in like 20 minutes. But because of the fact that these are run flat tires, I had to buy a whole new one, which was quite a headache. Another bad thing about run flat tires is the fact that because of all those reinforced rubber bits to allow the tire to run flat, they don't handle very well. You know, they're not as connected to the road, they're not as grippy, you know, they just don't handle well at all. This car is an absolute blast to drive. The only thing holding this thing back are the tires, these garbage Bridgestone Turanza run flat tires. So what I plan on doing is upgrading the 18-inch rims on this car to the OEM Trofeo wheels, getting some nice Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, which are actually cheaper than these stupid run flat tires. They're Z-rated, they're some of the best performance summer tires you can get, and mounting those on the car. In fact, you know, with the money I save per tire, I could literally buy myself another wheel and another tire and keep in my garage just in case I get a flat and I have to mount it on the car. So number 4 actually has nothing to do with the interior or the exterior of the car. It actually has everything to do with the key fob. Now overall, this is a really nice key fob. It's got that machined aluminum at the sides. It's not real aluminum, but it's like fake aluminum. It looks really nice. It's got soft touch plastic here at the front, which feel nice when you press on the buttons. It's got an inlaid Alfa Romeo logo here at the back. It's got another one at the front. It's got a nice weight to it. It really does feel premium, which is really nice to see because a lot of car manufacturers cheap out on their key fobs. But actually, this is the one piece of your car that, you know, goes wherever you go. So, you know, to be reminded that you're driving an Alfa Romeo, you're driving a luxury car, it's Italian passion, you know, and you take this wherever you go, you know, it's a really nice touch, and I'm glad Alfa actually invested a lot of research and development into the ergonomics and feel of this key fob. But the one thing I don't like is the panic button. This is probably the most sensitive panic button in the entire automotive industry. In fact, the first week I got this car, I probably set the panic button off accidentally like 10 times by just putting the thing on my table. You know, it's really sensitive. In fact, it happened to me at 2 o'clock in the morning and woke up my whole neighborhood. So now could we take a second to address the issue of why do you need such a big panic button? If you take a look at this Alfa's key fob, the panic button is literally the largest button on the entire key fob. If you take a look at our GTI's key fob for comparison, the panic button is like this tiny little red square right here, because the panic button you don't really use that often. Now, I see what Alfa is thinking. You know, you need a large panic button just in case you need to deploy it quickly if you're in immediate danger. But, you know, as a car guy, as a consumer, you know, I'm not an expert in automotive design or ergonomic design, but I'm sure there's some sort of happy medium we can reach to, you know, not use so much real estate here on the key fob and also make it easy to use in case of an emergency. So number 5 is the turn signal stock. Now on a normal car, when you pull down the turn signal, it stays in its position until you cancel it or you turn the wheel to cancel it. On this car, you pull the turn signal stock down and automatically retracts back to the middle position, the mechanical neutral position. Now this is kind of weird because when you want to cancel the turn signal, you have to like push it just enough to cancel that one but not trigger the other one. So check this out. I have my left turn signal on and then I want to cancel it. Now I push it too much and my right turn signal's on, and then I pull that one down too much and my left turn signal's on again. But then I have to like just inch it a little bit, and there, now the turn signal's off. Now this is something you get used to as you drive the car, but I think this is a classic case of the automakers just trying to be too slick and kind of show off and jump on that like techie bandwagon. It's kind of similar to when Honda replaced the physical volume knob with like that weird touch slider button thing that everybody hated. This is, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And some things, you know, you can improve cars and stuff, but there's some things that are so integral and so just, you know, deeply ingrained into the character stickers of cars, and you know, people are so used to using that, you know, why mess with it? Well guys, that's gonna do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and follow me on Instagram at CarVisionLA for more car reviews, culture, and comedy. Like I said, I absolutely love this car, so stay tuned for more awesome Alfa Giulia content coming your way soon. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.